I'm the dean, but as the dean of, just like a dean of a college, your job is to train and to try to prepare and make sure that everyone has an equal opportunity to move forward. And so I'll accept that title in thinking that I am trying my best to do what I can do to prepare and make sure that my staff has the opportunities to educate the children who really are going to make the difference. And so I don't mind being the dean in that sense of the word, that I am trying to corral and I'm over that area and trying to push that area forward, and that's been my charge. So I'll happily accept that. But there's some others that are out there that, as I tell them, the chancellor's still there. So we'll keep following the vision of the chancellor and everyone else underneath that hierarchy that the dean name falls under.
All right, please describe your leadership or other experiences that help prepare you for this role.
Working in the school system, I think, was one of the biggest things that helped prepare me for this role. And I had some opportunities to work in some other nonprofit agencies that also helped me. I found out that there is no perfect thing. There's no perfect training. You have to jump in and try to figure out how it is, because every industry, every sector has its own differences. And so I've learned that there's a lot of differences in this particular sector of early childhood education that, I thought things would carry over a whole lot easier coming from the K-12 background, but I realize it's a difference.
You just kind of have to jump in and get your feet wet, right?
Jump in, get your feet wet, and if you drown, you just swim back up to the
top. Optimism for sure. How would you personally define leadership?
To me, leadership really looks at what are you doing so that you can advance the future of everyone else. What are you doing so that you can make sure that the people that are underneath you, behind you, wherever you may call that, have the opportunity to learn so that they can further whatever it is that their vision and mission is, making sure that they can further the vision and mission of the organization. So to me, it's leadership is a wonderful word, but it's about leading someone, to me, and making sure that they're prepared so that they can lead themselves. I don't consider myself the best leader. I wish I was the best leader, but I consider myself having some qualities that will help some others move forward, and so that's kind of my take on leadership.
Okay. What is your leadership or your work philosophy? Which we kind of talked about that,
yeah.
But.
Well, it also when you talk about philosophy, it gets back to, I try my best not to ask anybody to do anything that I won't do. I'll go into the classroom. On Wednesday, was it Wednesday or Tuesday? I was working in the infant classroom at downtown. 2 weeks ago on Monday, I was cooking lunches in the cafeteria. So my thing is one, to understand what everyone else is going through. Sometimes you have to do what they're doing too. But also, I need, one of my big things is I want people to realize that I'm no different than they are. I'm here to perform a job and try to do that job to the best of my abilities with the things that are there. But I'm only as effective as the people that are working with me.
Oh, I like that.
And they don't work for me. They work with me, because without them, there's nothing else that I can do. I can't be in every classroom.
Right.
I can't be at every location. I can't be, I can't be the be all. And so I know that my success it rides on the back of their success. So there is no success for me if my teachers aren't being successful in the classroom with the kids, if my teachers aren't making sure that the children are receiving what the parents want them to receive, what the system wants them to receive in the sense of their education, and better prepare them to go into there. So.
Okay. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay. When did you first realize that you were a leader? Were you born a leader, or do you think you grew into the role?
I don't know if I really can say I ever realized that I was a leader. I think I can probably say that at some point I realized that because of my passion it has an opportunity to put me in positions so that I end up in the leadership role, I guess is the best way to say it. But again, to me, it's more about for you. Anyone can lead anyone. The cat can lead the dog can lead the cat. The question is, where are you leading them to? And that's what I think everybody's a leader. I'm there's no difference about me. When I get up in the morning, I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like everybody else that puts pants on. That includes women, so that's why I said everybody else. All of us put our pants on the same way, one pants leg at a time. We don't jump into them. And so, everyone I think can be a leader, and I think everyone has the abilities within them to lead. They may not lead at the same level that someone else does, but they can lead. My teachers are leaders. They're in the classroom leading those children. My staff that work here in the corporate office are leaders in what it is that they do. And so, I think that everybody can be a leader, and everybody is a leader. It's just the different levels of leadership that are there. You may be leading at home, but when you get to work, you're leading in your own position. But you might be leading your whole household, but when you get to work, you only lead that one little department that you're working in, and that one department could be huge. So I think everybody's a leader. Leadership to me is about making sure that whatever objective or goals out there, you're working toward that, and everyone understands what that is.
Okay, thank you. Has your definition of leadership changed as you progressed in your career? If so, how?
Yeah, because when I first started, I thought the leader was the boss man. I will just be honest with you. I thought the leader's the boss man. He's the leader, and whatever he says goes, and you just keep on moving from there. What I found is that any effective leader, and any person that falls in that role of, as well safely said, the boss man, if he doesn't have the right team, if he doesn't have the right support, he can be in the biggest position, but that doesn't mean he's an effective leader. It just means that he has a position with a title. And so, that's one of the things that I had to grow into that. It wasn't about the title. I tell people all the time, I think I said this in the beginning, you can call me Chief Executive Officer, you can call me Executive Director, you can call me whatever you want to call me, because the title really doesn't mean anything. It's getting the job done that really means something. I don't have to have a title. The title doesn't mean anything to me in the sense of the word that, you have to address me this way. And I tell people all the time, just call me Tony. That's my name. I don't need anything else. And, I'm not the Chief Executive Officer. I'm just Tony. Chief Executive Officer is just a title. Tomorrow we can call it, I don't know what we call it. We could call it ED. We could call it manager or whatever. You can change titles. Titles actually mean nothing. Getting the job done, and the job itself is the part that really means something to me, not the title.
Okay, that's wonderful. I understand that you are a father of 4 children. What did they think of you being such a strong leader in the community?
I probably say some days they like it and some days they don't. I am a father of 4. I have 3 boys and a daughter. They range in age of 23 all the way down to 5 months. And so
that's incredible.
I think that, again, they see it as a positive and as a negative. They see it as a negative because everywhere they go, someone knows who they are. It's like, that's Tony Burton's son right there. You better not be doing that. Your daddy can get you. And which is a positive for me at the same time. But, I'm sure my children sometimes going, oh, I wish they knew who I was. It keeps me busy. I think that sometimes it pulls away from the core of being a parent. And so I have to balance that to make sure that I'm giving equal time to the family that I give to my job.
And I'm sure that's not easy given all your responsibilities too, but okay. Oh, is your daughter a princess since she's the only girl? I just have to ask that.
She's an 80-year-old princess, and you can't tell her anything.
I guarantee it.
If she asks me for it and can't get it, she goes to her older brothers and they fall for it every time.
Oh, no doubt. She's got it good. She's got a good position in the family.
She's got a good position.
Okay, last but not least, what would you like to say to an audience of aspiring early childhood education professionals? Any advice on how to best prepare for a role such as yours?
Well, what I said to him first before I talk about a role like mine is most of us know going in that we're not in this field for the money. I mean, you know that you got to have some passion about it, and that this has to be a calling for you. And this calling can lead you down a whole lot of different paths. It can push you on into K-12 education. It can push you on into administration at the early childhood level. It can push you into teaching on the college level, teaching early childhood education classes. I mean, there's a lot of different things there. But, I would strongly encourage people to, to think about it and look at all of the different opportunities out there. And don't just be limited. Don't limit yourself to being the teacher in the infant classroom or the teacher in the 2-year-old classroom. Get into the field with the intent of you want to grow. Now, you may be an infant teacher for 30 years, but if you're in the field to grow, that means that you're going to continue your education, you're going to continue your learning, you're going to keep that part going. And so I don't want anyone to think that said you can't be an infant teacher for 30 years. You can be the best infant teacher for 30 years, or you can be a body in the classroom with the title of a teacher. And so, my thing is make sure that you continue to grow. The industry is changing. The situation of lives are changing. Therefore, children come with different things. We have to stay abreast so that we can understand the differences. We have to understand what's going on in family dynamics at home sometimes so that we can be effective with the children when they get into the classroom. We have to remember that we can't judge children. There's just a whole lot of things that I'd like to say. But, the major thing I would say, welcome to the field. Please continue. This is a field that I think is going to be changing real soon. Over the next 3 to 5 years, I think the landscaping for early childhood is going to change. I think the nation's going to look at it a lot different than where it is now. I think there's going to be a lot of growth opportunities, a lot of opportunities for new ideas. And they're not going to come from folk like me. I'm aging out of this. I haven't got to retirement age yet, thank goodness. But at some point, I hope I do get to retirement age so that I can pass the buck on to somebody else. Just be passionate about what it is that you want to do and take those opportunities to grow and shape and form what's going to be happening in early childhood.
Wonderful. And all of these fabulous answers and all your wonderful words is exactly why I chose you to interview you as a leader in the early childhood field. That's exactly it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Absolutely. Oh, let me see if I can stop this.